Eurocom Developments Limited entertainment software games. Electronic fun for everyone.
Hello, and welcome back to the HazzD channel. I'm HazzD, and it has been a while. It's been like 6 or 7 years, I think, since the last time I uploaded anything to this channel. For those who don't know, I went away to university for 5 years, so I haven't done any YouTubing in quite some time. But what you need to know is, I'm back. This is my return inning. I don't want to talk about it too much in this video, because, as you probably guessed, that's not what this video is about. It's actually my what a start. It's my next Let's Play of Disney's Hercules. So, I've been wanting to play this game for quite a while now. It's a game that was next on the list after Monster Hunter. One that I was hoping to do in like my holidays or something, but it just never materialized. So it's just been on the back burner for quite some time now. It's a great game. It's like an action, like a side-scrolling action platformer, I think is the best way I'd describe it. So on this main menu, we've got a couple of options. So we can start the game. So this will start you on the first level straight away, or you can load in. You can load after each level. It's a level-based game as well. So you can load in after each level to whatever point you got to. This can be quite useful because this game is actually quite challenging if you're like, when I played it the first time when I was a child, it was quite challenging indeed, because I was terrible at games, so that can be very helpful. There's also passwords, which I will go over later, because I can't really do anything with those now, or I know the passwords, but I don't want to do anything now. I want to actually earn the passwords and then show them all. There's also options, but I'll cover that maybe never, I don't know, whatever. Regardless, we're going to start the game, but first I need to mention, like Toy Story 2 for the PS2, this game also has like parts of the movie interspliced into the game after some of the levels and before some of the levels. For whatever reason, I don't get this practice. It's very, very strange, because if you've bought a game based on a movie, normally you'd seen the movie first, and you're like, oh, I like that IP, I like that film. I'm gonna buy a game based on it because I want to play through that movie. Or like vice versa. I highly doubt anyone's ever played a game with movie clips in it and then gone and watched the movie, because they've had a bunch of it spoiled for them already. But regardless, I need to cut these out. That was the point I was trying to make before I got onto that tangent. I have to cut these out for obvious copyright reasons. I don't want Disney hunting me down and like taking my spine or whatever in payment. So I'm going to be cutting those. So there'll be a couple of cuts after some levels and stuff. Hopefully it'll be smooth enough that you won't even notice it. So here we go. Let's begin the game. Okie dokie, here we go. First level, your basic DID, Damsel in Distress. So this first level is going to be all about teaching us how to play the game. Well, it's more about allowing us to learn the controls and figure out how the controls work, since this is one of those really old games that came with a paper manual. I love those manuals back in the day, but unfortunately, if like me, you got this game secondhand without the manual, you'll have none of the controls. I think they're in the options menu under controls though. I haven't checked, but they might be there. So if you want to learn the controls, they're there, but otherwise you have no way of learning controls. Hercules has just pulled out a fish in frustration, clearly because he's upset that I'm spending so long explaining things and not playing the game. So let me quickly run through all the basic controls that you need right now before he gets any more bored with me. Since this is one of those really old PS1 games, all of the movement is on the D-pad instead of the analog stick. That's probably really baffling to a lot of the younger generation, since that it hasn't been that way for like 25 years or something, like 20-25 years. So left and right on the D-pad allow you to go left and right. This is a side-scroller after all. If you press down, he'll duck and make a funny noise. Ha! 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 I've just realised I'm trying to show you the sound he makes, but I'm talking over it, so hold on. There you go, that's the sound he makes. I just find that funny, that noise. I'm never going to use this move for anything other than a bit of entertainment, because, yeah, this move is not really that useful. Well, it's useful if you want to dodge enemies that are attacking you at head height, but I find offense is just way better than defense in this game. Just attack instead, kill the enemy before it kills you, basically. So I'm probably never going to use that move. The other move I'll teach you right now is if you press X, you can jump. Since this is also a platformer, we're going to be using that a lot. So let's move over here and jump up here and collect these silver coins. There we go. There's a couple types of collectibles in this game. There are coins, and like a couple of others that I'll explain when we get to them. So there are 3 types of collectibles. They're only relevant at the end of the level. Coins are one of them. They come in 2 types. You've got silver coins that are worth 1 unit, and then gold coins, which are worth... Okay, that's Phil. That's another character in the game. So we play as Hercules. Phil will constantly talk to us throughout this level and just say things to us and interrupt my commentary. So I'm trying, Phil, but you keep talking to me and interrupting my commentary. Phil, can you please be quiet for just a minute while I explain things? I'm sorry, I'll start playing the game in a minute. But yeah, as I was saying, before Phil interrupted me, there are 2 types of coins, silver and gold. Silver ones are worth 1 unit, gold coins are worth 2. That doesn't really matter so much which type of coin you collect. Just grab as many as you can. It's one of those types of collectibles where having more of a thing is just always better. It's never worse to have more collectibles. So just grab as many as you can. It's relevant at the end of the level. That's all you need to know. I'll explain more when we get to the end of the level. But for now, I'm going to come over here before Phil gets any more irritated at me. And as you can see, there's some training dummies up here. Then over here, as you can see, there's this doll hanging up here. And if we come all the way to the right, there's a statue plinth thing on wheels blocking our way. It's a bit weird. It's like a car. It's a plinth car. Okay, bit weird, but anyway, we can't get past this right now because we have to come back over here and do something. We have to destroy, as Phil's told me, get my sword and destroy these. Since Phil is getting so annoying and he keeps interrupting my commentary, I'm going to defy him, and instead of attacking with my sword like he wants, I'm going to punch with circle. As you can see, no, I refuse, Phil. I'm going to use my punch. I'm going to punch just to annoy you. So if you press circle and keep spamming it, as you can see, you can do a really long combo with punches. This is one of the benefits of punches over, as Phil's been demanding I do, use my sword with square. As you can see, swords they have a bit of a cooldown, so you can't just spam it as fast as you can spam the punch like that. So that's one of the differences. The other difference between the two is that, as you can see, punches only hit directly in front of you, whereas the sword also hits above you, so it hits in front and above you and has a slightly longer range. So I'm probably going to use the sword a lot in this game, since it's just better to have that range. The speed doesn't really matter. You don't get hit with so many enemies at once. Like, it happens on occasion, but never enough that it's more relevant to punch the enemy than it is to use the sword. So I'm going to probably never use the punch again after this part of the game. So the only other attack that you can do is a heavy attack with triangle. As you can see, it's got a bit of a wind up and then it does a heavy attack. I don't think this is ever relevant because enemies always seem to have invincibility frames, like they stagger after they get hit. So I don't think it does double damage or anything. It just hits them. I think it's relevant. Actually, that's a lie. There is one time where this move is relevant. One single time where this move is relevant, but there's an alternative to this move. It's like a more powerful version of it where it just works better if you use that one. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. That's in the 3rd level. I don't know why I'm talking about it now. Let's move on, since this tutorial is already going on for ages. So if I come over here, as you can see, I can't hit this one with any kind of attack from here. So what I'm going to have to do is jump and attack. So you can jump and attack with both the sword and the regular punch. There we go, I got it. So you can attack with both the sword and the regular punch. You can't jump and attack with the heavy attack. So that's all the basic attacking controls. If I come over here, as you can see, this doll has dropped down. If I pick it up, it'll drop a coin for me. And if I come over here, Phil will move the pillar cart thing out of the way. So there we go. Let's move on. We've got another load of training dummies, a doll, and another pillar cart. So obviously, what we need to do here is destroy all of these guys. However, I'm going to destroy them one at a time to demonstrate something. If I destroy this guy, as you can see, this this pole will go up every time I destroy one of these. And if I do that, it'll go all the way up and I won't be able to jump on it. As I demonstrate here by following these coins, I can get on top of it. And as you can see, there are collectibles up there and even one that we haven't seen before. So I don't want to destroy these before I get up there. So what I need to do is somehow destroy those guys while on top of it. The way you do that is if you jump and hold down before you get to the top of your jump, you do like a ground pound attack, and as you can see, it's destroyed the enemies below me. You don't really need to worry about getting the timing for this right too often, because I think there's only one time this is ever used. I think in one boss fight where you have to slam the ground, So that's the only time you ever have to get the timing right. So don't worry about ever using this in combat. It's more of a like an environmental thing, so you don't need to worry about that. That's the only time you as well. Well, there is one other time in this level where you destroy enemies below you. So I don't know why it demonstrated it like this to you here, because it's never going to be relevant again. Anyway, moving on, if I jump up here and miss the collectible, as you can see there's a golden H spinning there. As I collected it, you can vaguely see that it's supposed to spell out Hercules. Throughout the level, there'll be every single letter of the word Hercules. If you collect all of them, there'll be another reward when you finish the level. But that's only relevant later, so we won't talk about that now. Something else I want to talk about is you can attack these things, and as you can see, they fall apart. Okay, I didn't actually realise you could destroy that with the sword. I thought if you kept attacking it, it wouldn't destroy it, but I still got the coin that would fall out of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Obviously, they're being kind. As you can see here, there's some dummies moving here. This is to test your depth perception, so enemies can move forwards and backwards into the background. If I stand in front of it, as you can see, I can get hit. That bar up there at the top, that gold one with the gold one that becomes blue, that is your health. Once it gets to the bottom, obviously you die. Next to it, you can see a number. It says 3. That's how many lives I've got. This is an old game still. It has a number of lives. And yeah, we start with 3. So you can pick up more as you go, but for now, let's not worry about that. What we need to worry about is enemies can go forward and backwards into the background. So if I attack at the right time, as you can see, I can hit it. But if I was to attack at the wrong time, I can't hit it. Okay, I didn't intend to miss there. There we go, got it. So yeah, if you attack at the right... Wow, my timing is terrible. Clearly, I need to work on my depth perception. Okay, this is just embarrassing. I've missed 3 out of 4 of them on the first attack. So if I grab this guy, there we go. Gold coin. So that'll become more relevant later on when we start encountering more enemies. So now that we've moved through here, if I just edge forward a bit... Hello? Are you going to do it? Okay. So as you can see, that drops down, and now we can't go back. So if you don't get that H... Well, obviously if you've got this far, you can't go back and get the H because you had already destroyed the dummies and fallen off the pole, but... You now can't get the H. There are points in each of these levels where you can't go back, so always be careful of that. I'll point it out when this happens. I completely forgot that was up there. So up here, above us, as you can see, there are some target dummies that are going to fall on me. And as you saw there, it landed on my head and hurt me. If I attack at the right time like that, you can see a coin drops out. So as you saw there, I missed a coin, so a coin would have dropped from that first one, but I've already missed one. It doesn't matter too much, especially in these earlier levels. They're quite kind. If you don't collect all the coins, it's not like, oh, you don't get the reward. Because in some levels, it's impossible to get all of the coins, so don't worry too much if you miss one. Just collect as many as you can. That's all that matters. So if I keep... I practiced this game so much so that I could hit every single one of these without fail, and I've just missed half of them, I think, or more, and I got hit by 2 of them. I've completed this level before without taking any damage, and I practiced it so that I could, and I've just managed to hit so many times. Wow. Oh, this is... Oh, I've missed the Let's Play curse. The curse of talking and trying to play a game at the same time is ridiculous. Anyway, if we come over here, as you can see, there are more test dummies on this pole, but this one's moving, so you have to jump on it at the right time, otherwise you won't if it goes too high. Or too low. Well, I don't think too low is a problem, but if you don't jump on it at the right time, you can't get up. But as you can see, if I just come all the way across here just to demonstrate something, you can't pick this up until it has reached the bottom, so you have to destroy these things. So let's just do this ground pound. This is the only other time this is ever used, I believe. So let's just destroy those. There we go, to bring the doll down so that we can progress. But as you can see, there are coins up there and another letter, but I can't reach all of them. But as you just saw, I bumped into something there. If I jump here, Hercules will grab onto this swing pole and allow me to swing higher to get a bit more height and grab all of those things. So there we go, our second letter. So once again, this is one of those instances where if you go... Oh no, it's not. I thought this is one of the instances where you can't return after you collect it or like move on. So, but no, never mind. Forget what I said. That's not what was happening there. Moving on, anyway, as you can see here, you've got more of this depth perception test, but these ones have 2 hits, so you have to hit them more than once. I was about to say it's fairly easy, but then I missed twice, so... Oh, for goodness sake. I practiced this so much so that I could do it flawlessly and not look like a fool, but there we go. Oh, here's a new thing that you can pick up. This is a health extender. It's a little Hercules statue. As you can see, my health grew a bit. It can grow all the way up until it touches that other symbol across there on the right. We'll get to that. I was going to say we'll get to that when it becomes relevant, but this is when it becomes relevant. If I jump up here and grab this lightning sword, if I press R1, as you can see, it switched to a different weapon. If I was to use my sword now, it would do a special ability, but I'm not going to use it right away because I want to save it for something else. Oh, here's the point of no return I was thinking of. So I can't return now. Let me just double check. No, there are no training dummies. I'm so concerned now that there's just going to be training dummies falling from the sky. But yeah, so that was the point of no return I was thinking of. So this ability I'll use at some point in the future when it becomes more reasonable to use it. Another thing to explain, God, there's just so many in this level. This is Hermes, one of the gods. So he is actually a checkpoint marker. So you saw one of these right at the beginning of the level. If you somehow died, I mean, you could die to the training dummies, I guess, if you stood in front of them. It'll reset you back to the beginning of the level. So now if we die, we'll just get reset to here. So let's move on before Phil freaks out anymore in the background. I saw him back there. Climb up here. As you can see, if you jump to a ledge that you can't quite get up, you'll be able to grab it. Ooh, there's our first enemy. If I grab this power up and change over with L1, as you can see, if I now attack and hold, it'll shoot lightning out. So that's what the lightning ability does. As I was saying, you can jump and grab ledges to climb up higher. So sometimes you can. The pole from earlier with the training dummies that goes up. Ooh, hello. I just did that on reflex. So the training dummy pole that goes up as you destroy them, you can't grab that one. So don't destroy too many. I think it's like 2 you can destroy before it gets out of reach, because you can't grab that ledge. If I come over here, just want to bait out all the enemies. Get back here. There you go. Got him. So I can't jump and get that one. There we go. I'm just trying to bait out the enemies because I'm going to do something in a sec, and I don't want enemies to just come at me. Right, okay, I think we're good. So if you see here, there's this crack, like a little divot in the floor. As you can see, even the camera goes down to indicate it. If I jump and do the ground pound here, as you can see, it breaks the floor. If I do this 3 times, I'll fall through, and there's some hidden things down here. As you saw, I got the C before the R. The R is there. Oh, I don't want to grab that one yet. So as you can see, you can grab the letters out of order. There is no order. Well, there is an order to them, but you can grab them out of order. So you don't have to get all the letters in the correct order. So yeah, so the other collectible that you can get that is only relevant for the end of the game is just down there. It's that pot there. As you can see, it's got a question mark on it. There's 2 types of pots. There's one with a question mark on and one with Hercules' face. The one with the face on, I'll explain when we actually find one of those. That pot, again, is something that's only relevant right at the end of the level. So we'll just collect that and I'll just leave it as, I'll explain later. Oh god, that's returned. Just remember that was a thing from the past. Oh yeah, this log will collapse as I run across it. I just did that instinctively, knowing that it would. Ow. Okay. Just scorched earth. Scorched earth approach. Just get rid of them. Okay, there we go. So, new power-up. Whew, just so many things happening. Right. Breathe. Right. New power-up. Here we go. So this power-up, when I use it, as you can see, it will make me invincible for a second. I go see-through. I don't want to use that too much because there is a place where I want to use it, and if I use all of it, it's got a timer. As you can see, next to the power-up, if I switch between the regular sword and the lightning sword, there's like a gold bar that fills up next to it. That indicates how much of the power-up you have left. The sword you just have infinite amounts of, but like the lightning and that will go down. The see-through helmet, I'm sure that's one of the gods. I think it's maybe Hermes' helmet or something. I don't know. There's some mythology there that I just can't remember, but that's one of the power-ups that I'll use later. I'll have a much better chance to demonstrate it. Let's see if I can grab some of these coins. There we go. You don't have to grab all the coins like I said, but yeah, I just like collecting as many as I can, so there we go. That log, as you saw, I didn't really have a time to explain it because I dropped on it and it just started falling away, and if I didn't run across it, I would have not been able to get the power-up to demonstrate it. So yeah, some of the logs in this level, if you run on them, they will collapse underneath you if you stand on them too long. So just be aware of that. Right, now that now that we have got past that and we have a moment of calm, we can move on. As you can see, there's no like divot here. Wow, I'm doing very poorly with these birds. Okay. Clearly his planet needed him. He's just gone. That one's just gone. Alright, just get those guys. So as I was saying, there is no divot on this one. There isn't always a divot on these platforms, just be aware. So if you run across one of these and can't find one, don't worry. It's not like you've missed something. Ow. Jumped straight into that one. Ah. There we go. Make it easier for myself. Just cheat. I'm just going to cheat. I'm not going to try and like spam those because there is a bit where it might actually be here where that's super useful. Let's see. Nope, not yet. I know there's more training dummies coming, and I know it's going to happen eventually. And I'm just baiting it out, waiting for it to happen. Oh, okay, there's sharks. Oh my god, why are there sharks? I've just realised something. In thinking about why there are sharks there, I realised, oh, it's because they're in the movie. If you guys haven't seen the movie, because I'm skipping all the movie cutscenes, you'll have zero context for what is going on in this game, who the characters are, what is happening. So in that case, to avoid copyright issues, I doubt it would actually cause copyright issues, just in case, you know what, Disney can be a bit crazy and I don't want to get, thrown off the site on the first episode I'm back. What I'm going to do is just make up my own context for you guys based on what's going on. So far, we know that this level involves a damsel of some sort. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that I'm probably the damsel. I'm going to assume Hercules is the damsel in this case. And since he pulled a fish out earlier, I'm going to assume he's some sort of magician, I assume. And since we're being forced to go through some sort of obstacle course, like training, and this guy, Phil, is getting like really agitated and like angry that we're obviously succeeding, see like that, he's getting very angry, he's shaking his fist at me, he's clearly angry that I'm succeeding. I assume this is some sort of Saw situation we're in. We're in some sort of Saw situation. That explains the sharks. Only a madman in like some sort of weird Saw situation would use sharks as like some sort of means of defense. Oh, okay, I'm not doing well with that. So yeah, clearly this is some sort of Saw situation we found ourselves in. And like this Phil guy's like some sort of crazy lunatic who's like kidnapped us. Hercules the magician, like damsel in distress, he's been kidnapped by Phil, the Saw maniac, the Saw enthusiast. Do you ever say something and just think, why did I say that? Did I really just say that? I've just explained Hercules in the weirdest way possible. That was completely off the top of my head. Just like, what is the weirdest way I could explain this situation to someone with like completely the wrong context? And that's where my brain went. I'm like, I think something might be wrong with me, but never mind. Like, emotional and mental crisis aside, let's move on with the tutorial stuff before I get even weirder on you. Let's come to this pillar, and as you can see, I can't get past it. If I attack it with my sword, as you can see, it is destructible in some way, but just hitting it isn't doing it. If you hold down triangle, if you see next to my life bar, there's that, like, thunderbolt that just filled with yellow. That is a power-up bar for our heavy attack. So if you hold down triangle long enough, it'll power up all the way and you'll do like a super punch. If you listen, when that gong sounds, that means it's fully charged. So that'll allow you to punch through things completely. And we get another pot for that. So that is the main use for the heavy attack. I never really use it in combat. It's mainly used for punching through barriers like that. And oh my god. Okay, he's upped the game. He's now got sentient, like, robots to come and attack me. Oh my god, this man is a maniac. He's crazy. Oh my god. So if you destroy these things, they have a lot of life in them. So if you have to obviously try and time it properly. As you can see, they move between the foreground and the background. So you have to time it when they're on the same plane as you. But if you kill them, they have tons of health in them. I think they're mainly here just to like refill your health bar, since we've been fighting a couple of enemies. And this is where the sort of tutorial stuff really sort of ends. As you saw there, I just picked up a fire sword, which if I get past all of these guys, I can use and demonstrate that if I jump up. Ow, up here. Right, here we go. Let's use this. So this is a flaming homing attack. As you can see, if it hits a bunch of enemies in the same space, it'll kill them all at once. Let's try it again. I can't really demonstrate. Oh, there we go. It demonstrated it off screen. So I killed a bunch of them all at once with that attack. If I just use the lightning, I prefer using lightning since that homing fireball is way better against just enemies with lots of health that you don't want to get close to. It's just sort of like a range attack that doesn't burn through super quickly and you can control how much you use it. I prefer to use it in those situations. But it's still a very useful ability, just not really against those birds. I prefer just using the lightning arc and just wiping them all out at once. I just heard a seagull, so clearly time is ticking on. I don't know what time it is. It's like nearly 3 in the morning. Wow, that seagull's up early, isn't it? Okay, you didn't see it there, but I just fell down onto another pot. So, for the longest time when I was like setting up for this Let's Play, I could never figure out where the third pot in this game was. I didn't mention we got another pot just after the last punching pillar, or one of the punching pillars. So that's the third one. There are 4 in every single level. There are 4 not punching pots. There are 4 question mark pots. So in every single level there's 4 of those. We've now got 3. And for the longest time I could never figure out where that one was, because whenever I destroy that I'd always stand in the middle, fall down and collect it before I could ever see it was there. Because it doesn't really make a unique sound when you pick it up. It just makes the standard like coin pickup sound, and like that's used for every other collectible other than the H's. Not the H's, the letters. So yeah, it's quite difficult to figure out when I picked it up. It was only when I recorded some test footage and then fell down that I actually saw it. Anyway, falling down here, there's like a health there that you can't get. See, if I fall all the way down, I now can't get back. So if you've missed out on any of those collectibles in the last section, you won't be able to go back and get them. But we do have another ability here. Oh, okay, as you saw there, I jumped up, I could see those. Actually, that's quite clever. I've just realised they put that collectible there just out of like reach so that you would jump up and see those. I've never realised that was what they were going for. Anyway, if we go through, as you can see, we've got this like O ability. If you hold down square, this will allow you to do constant like sword attacks around you in an AoE just around you. I don't really like this ability that much. It's got like, I find I only ever use it once in the game, and that's because I don't have a better ability. So, yeah, that's an ability. It's like an AoE, like, ability you can just hold down and use. It's not the best one, but it's one that you can use. It's there. I don't want to sound too negative about it, but compared to the fireball and the lightning, it's just not the best ability. If I use lightning here, this is why I wanted to collect it. As you can see, I can destroy these things even when they're off screen. But to get the coins, you have to jump up and obviously trigger them, because for some... Hello? I know I can destroy you. There we go. So... Okay, that was a demonstration. Coins do disappear if you don't collect them soon enough. They will disappear on you. So make sure you pick them up once they drop. Like, if they aren't ones that are just naturally in the world, if they've dropped from an enemy, you have to collect them before they disappear. So, yeah, make sure you're aware of that, because in some of the later levels, they are very tight with, like, the number of coins you are. Like, it's like a few coins. If you miss like 5 coins, you won't get the reward, so that's always something to be aware of. But as you saw there, to get the coins to drop down, I actually had to jump up. It's like the objects are only active when they're on screen, but you can destroy them when they're off screen. It's a bit weird. But anyway, as you can see over here, there are some coins up here that I can't jump up and get. If I come back this way a bit, this boulder I've just jumped over, if you walk into it, you can pick it up and then throw it. And then use it as a platform. It's like a moving platform that you can pick up and use. So what I'm going to do is now pick this up and head this way, but as you can see, there are enemies over there. So what I'm going to do is now use the invincibility helmet to just get through this part without taking damage. As you can see, that bird would have done damage to me there, but since I've got the invincibility helmet, I can just walk through all of this. I didn't mention it, but those statues in the background earlier, I didn't mention this, but these guys will fire fireballs at you if you hang around for too long. So if I just use lightning to wipe out all of... Are they going to do it? Okay, no, these ones don't. So the earlier ones did fire fireballs at you, but I just ran past. I think these ones are just here to scare you, to make you think that's going to happen. Okay, so what happened there is because I ran off screen, the object reset. So don't do what I just did. If you come back over here and pick up the boulder again, you have to drag it all the way back. But if you walk just off screen, for some reason, it just forgets where it was and resets it. So yeah, don't do that. And let's just walk all the way back real slowly. Come on, there we go. Throw the boulder down here so that we can climb up here and get to the next area. There's a bunch of health that I don't need. As you can see, this level is just teeming with health, so I was going to say dying on this level is really hard, but I've just managed to get hit by the easiest enemy in the game. It's... Okay, I forgot I had lightning out. So I've practiced this game so much, and yet I'm just getting absolutely destroyed by everything. It's like practice doesn't make perfect. Anyway, what I was going to say is if you drop just down off this cliff, there you go, there is a letter there. If you don't get that letter by dropping just off the cliff, you can't get back. So if I walk off this cliff, like this, as you can see, I can't get back up there. Oh, there we go. So these enemies are actually firing fireballs at me. As you can see, these ones do. So this is what I meant when those enemies do fire fireballs at you. But yeah, you can't climb back up on that cliff after you've dropped down. Wow, I just killed like 3 birds in one sword swing. That was pretty impressive. Ooh, yikes, I just accidentally kicked the table. Hopefully I'll be able to edit that out so you don't hear that on the mic. But yeah, I saw that peak on the computer. Did not want to do that. But yeah, so these enemies are fireballs. The way you want to get through this area, because I just ran past it because I was talking about something else, there are swing poles like here. If you try and do these swing poles before you've killed all of those enemies on both ends, this will be really painful for you. You will lose a lot of life doing this if you don't kill all of the enemies first. So when it comes to these swing poles, you'll automatically let go at some point. If you just hold right, you'll automatically go to the next one. So it sort of tricks you into thinking you have to do something more. You don't, just hold right and let it jump you between each one. Here it's a little bit trickier. You have to get all the way over to that platform. To do it, you need to have a bit of a run up, like before you can do it. You can't just do a standing jump. So there's a couple of different jumps. Obviously if you're standing still, you'll do that. If you're barely moving, you'll do a short jump. If you're holding it, well, actually that's the standing forward jump. If you're moving a little bit, you'll do a longer jump. So there's a couple of jumps. You need to make sure that you're doing the right one in order to get to the next area, or like make certain jumps. So be aware of that. That jump, so many times as a kid, I would struggle. I would not be able to finish this game because of that jump. I just could not do it as a kid. So there we go. We've got another letter. There's the E. I haven't been really pointing out when I've been grabbing these too much, but because my brain's just been talking about other things. But yeah, so we've got pretty much all the letters now. There's just one more letter and one more vase, or pot, or jar, or whatever I've been calling them. I don't know. But we only have one more tutorial area left. That's this area. And there's a new mechanic here. Not goats. We have goats here, but that's not the new mechanic. The new mechanic is we can move back and forth between the backgrounds. So enemies can do it, and so can we. At these paths and certain other hidden areas, you can move back and forth, and as you can see, get past certain things. So if we just come along here, I always jump behind those trees. I'm like, oh, there's always going to be something hidden there that I can't see. They always trick me. There's always something hidden. However, I know that if you can keep running all the way to the right here, but it's not much point. There's nothing over there. None of these paths that lead all the way to the right, there's anything ever there. Once again, I need to jump behind it to see it. Oh, there's the last letter. There's the S back there. But I also spotted this in a tree. So if I just use lightning, I can kill that instantly. Get a coin. So this is pretty much it. That's all the mechanics of this game, pretty much, for the standard like side-scrolling levels. There are other mechanics in this game that we'll get to in later levels. So I don't know if you just heard, but there was a tingle when you jump. A tingle? Like a ding when you jump behind this tree. There was a coin hidden here. This always tricks me. I always forget this coin. But yeah, that's pretty much all the mechanics of this game. The pot's also here. So there we go. We've got all 4 pots and all the letters. Before I get distracted by anything else, let me finish this sentence. That is pretty much all of the mechanics. Being able to move forward and backwards between the different areas and all the other stuff. That is the last mechanic. I wanted to be down there. So, yeah. We're pretty much done with the tutorial now. We're almost done with this level. And if I keep running this way past all the goats, there's nothing over there. Don't get tricked. Waste time. Kill that guy. There we go. So, that's pretty much it. If we run all the way to the end here, we have one last platform. And collect a few more coins. Come on. I ended this way too soon. I ran out of things to talk about. Oh, there we go. Phil, the saw guy, he's obviously furious that we've managed to make it through all of his traps. And now we're going to escape by picking up this lightning bolt and finishing the level. I can't believe I've now labelled Phil as like a saw enthusiast who's keeping Hercules captive. I can't believe I've now made that a thing. Oh well, there we go. We finished the first level. And as you can see, since I've collected all of the letters of Hercules, once... There you go, once he's moved all the way across and it's done, I get a continue bonus. So basically what that allows me to do is I get a life, I believe. It's either a life or I get like the ability to save. I can't remember. I've never actually tested it. I'll figure that out and put an annotation. But as you saw there, because I collected up enough coins, I got 97%, I got a hero rating of hero, and it gave me an extra life. If you get a hero rating, I believe it's hero or champ, you get an extra life after finishing level. That was the part with Hercules' face on. We didn't actually find any in that level, but that's what lives are in this game. So you want to collect as many as those. You'll probably see in every single level that my lives will reset, and that's because of what's going to happen on the next screen when I press X. Ta-da! As you can see, I've picked up a bunch of pots. So all the pots I picked up unlocks the passwords. What this does is that it allows me to be able to go to the password menu and then load into the next level after this one. So I don't actually have to save. Using these, I can just skip to any point in the game. I don't have to play through every single level. If there's a level that I want to play, I can just use this. So there we go. That was the first level of Disney's Hercules for PS1 and the first episode of my Let's Play Hercules, my first Let's Play back on the channel. It's been a great time. Hopefully it hasn't just been a complete ramble of nonsense and tutorials. Hopefully it's been entertaining. Next time we still have a few more tutorials because it introduces a new mechanic, but after that it's plain sailing, no more tutorials, and we can just have fun and play this really awesome game. I love this game. Even though it's really heavy on tutorials right now, it does get like really good. The mechanics are actually really fun and it's actually quite challenging, so I'm looking forward to the rest of this game. I'm looking forward to Let's Playing it. So until next time, I've been HazzD. Like, comment, subscribe and all the other good stuff. And I'll see you next time.